The galactic trade hub smelled like 1,000 different worlds crammed into one place. Eva Reyes walked through the crowded corridors. Her worn jacket pulled tight around her shoulders. Aliens of every shape and size pushed past her. The tall, blue-skinned Vryn barely noticed her. The insect-like Quellan merchants chittered in their own language, ignoring the lone human woman who looked like she hadn't slept in days. She hadn't. Eva stopped at a food stall and checked her credit chip. 47 credits left. That was barely enough for a week of rations, let alone passage off this station. She bought the cheapest protein bar and moved on, trying not to think about how far she had fallen. 2 years ago, she had been Commander Eva Reyes, the finest pilot in the human space navy. They had called her Ghost because she could fly through asteroid fields like they weren't even there. She had medals, respect, and a future that stretched out before her like an open sky. Then came the Battle of Proxima. Eva pushed the memory away. She didn't want to think about the screaming on the comms, the impossible choice, the court-martial that followed. 47 people died because of her decision. That's what they said. That's what the military tribunal decided. Dishonorable discharge. Stripped of rank, sent away with nothing but shame and a one-way ticket to this frontier station where humans were just another species trying to survive. She found herself in the lower docks, where the air recyclers didn't work as well, and the lighting flickered. A crowd had gathered near Bay 47. Eva moved closer and saw the sign. Ship. Auction. Seized and abandoned vessels. Her heart skipped. Ships meant freedom. Ships meant leaving this place. A Quellan auctioneer stood on a platform, his 6 arms gesturing wildly as he spoke in galactic standard. Next item. Beautiful Vryn pleasure cruiser, only 15 years old, minor hull damage from pirate attack. Starting bid, 50,000 credits. Eva's hope died. She had 47 credits. She couldn't even afford the fuel for something like that. She turned to leave, but then she saw it. At the far end of the dock, sitting alone like a forgotten memory, was something that didn't look like any ship Eva had ever seen. It wasn't made of metal and carbon fiber. Instead, its hull seemed almost organic, like bone and skin fused together. Panels along its surface glowed with a faint blue-green light, pulsing slowly like a heartbeat. The ship looked old, damaged, and somehow sad. "What is that?" Eva asked a nearby Corthian mechanic. The big, gray-skinned alien glanced at the ship and laughed. Silhari bioship. Dead tech. The Silhari went extinct decades ago. Their ships die without pilots. That one's been sitting here for 30 years. Nobody wants it. Why not? Can't strip it for parts. Can't fly it. Can't do anything with it. It's just taking up space. The Corthian walked away, still laughing. Eva stared at the ship. There was something about it that pulled at her. Maybe it was because the ship looked as abandoned as she felt. Maybe it was because nobody wanted it, just like nobody wanted a disgraced pilot. The auctioneer's voice crackled through the speakers. Final item. Silhari vessel, registry unknown, salvaged from impound. This is sold as is, non-functional. Do I hear any bids? Silence. Come now, even scrap has value. More silence. 50 credits. Surely someone wants this piece of history. Eva's hand went up before she could stop herself. 47 credits. There. The auctioneer looked at her like she had grown a second head. The crowd turned to stare at the human woman in the worn jacket. That's below minimum bid, human. It's all I have, Eva said. And nobody else wants it. The Quellan's compound eyes studied her for a long moment. Then he sighed. All 6 arms drooping. Fine. Sold to the desperate human. Bay 47. Here's your access code. And good luck, you'll need it. The crowd laughed as Eva walked toward her new ship. She didn't care. She had a ship now. Maybe she could sell it to a museum, or find someone who collected Silhari artifacts. The airlock was organic too, like a mouth that opened when she entered the access code. Eva stepped inside, and the opening sealed behind her with a wet, slurping sound that made her stomach turn. The interior was dark except for those faint bioluminescent panels. The corridors weren't straight and mechanical, they curved like veins or arteries. The floor felt soft under her boots. Not quite solid. Not quite liquid. The whole ship felt wrong. Like being inside something that should be alive but wasn't. Eva made her way to what she hoped was the cockpit. Instead of chairs and control panels, there was a chamber with a strange seat that looked grown rather than built. Organic cables hung from the ceiling like dead vines. "Well," Eva said to the empty ship, "you're definitely unusual. But dead is dead. Maybe I can." The panels flickered. Eva froze. More lights came on, weak and struggling, but definitely responding to her presence. The organic displays on the walls shimmered, and then something appeared that made Eva's breath catch in her throat. Words, in English, detecting. Human. Neural patterns. "What the hell?" Eva whispered. More words appeared, slower this time, like something struggling to remember how to communicate. "Hello. I am. Hurt. Please. Help." Eva's pilot instincts kicked in. She had flown experimental ships before, dealt with strange technology. But this was different. This wasn't a computer talking to her. This felt like someone. "You're alive?" she asked. "Yes. Barely. So hungry. So alone." "Who are you?" "I am Caliph. I am Silhari bioship. My pilot died. Long ago. Without pilot. I starve. Systems failing. Please." Eva's mind raced. The Silhari were supposed to be extinct. Their bioships were legendary ships that bonded with their pilots, combining organic and technological systems in ways no other species had ever achieved. But everyone said they were dead, gone, wiped out by disease or war, or something else lost to history. "How are you still alive?" Eva asked. "Barely. Surviving. Emergency reserves. Almost empty. I tried to call for help, but nobody. I mine. Understands. Silhari. Signals. Except you. Your mind resonates differently. Humans are compatible." Eva sat down on the organic seat, feeling it adjust to her body shape. "I don't understand. What do you need from me?" Neural bond, pilot, connection. I need pilot's energy, thoughts, to live, to fly. Without bond, I die." "A neural bond?" Eva's military training kicked in. She knew about neural interfaces, the military used them in advanced fighters. But this sounded more intimate, more permanent. "What does that mean exactly?" 1. Minds. Connect. You, pilot. I fly. We share. Thoughts, memories, feelings. Become partners. Forever. Forever? Eva stood up. "No. No way. I'm not permanently linking my brain to an alien ship. I just bought you to..." The ship's lights dimmed suddenly. The words appeared again, weaker. "Understand. I am asking too much. From stranger. I will die soon. Thank you. To me, in my final hours, it was less lonely." Eva felt something twist in her chest. She knew what it felt like to be alone, to be abandoned, to think nobody cared if you lived or died. "Wait," she said. "I didn't say I wouldn't help. I just need to understand. What happens if we bond? We fly. Together. Better than any ship you have known. I heal. You have home. Ship that will never abandon you. And if I say no, you leave. I die. You sell. My body. For scrap. Is okay. You owe me nothing." Eva closed her eyes. 47 people died at Proxima because she made a choice. She saved a civilian transport carrying 300 families by sacrificing a military convoy. The tribunal said she made the wrong call. They said she should have protected military assets first, but she would make the same choice again. Those families deserve to live. Maybe this dying ship deserved a chance too. If I do this, Eva said, I'm trusting you. And trust doesn't come easy anymore. I understand. I, too, was bonded. Before. My pilot. Was. My friend. I miss. That trust. Eva opened her eyes and looked at the organic cables hanging from the ceiling. So how do we do this? The cables moved, reaching toward her slowly, gently, as if asking permission. Sit. Relax. I will. I be gentle. It may. I feel strange. But I promise. Not to hurt. You. Eva sat back down. Her hands were shaking. This was insane. But she had nothing left to lose. The cables touched her temples, warm and soft. Then, the world exploded into light and sensation. Eva gasped as Calith's mind touched hers. She felt the ship's pain, its loneliness, its desperate hunger. But she also felt its hope, its joy at finally having someone to talk to, and Calith felt her. Every memory, every regret, every moment of shame from Proxima. Oh, Eva, you carry so much pain. You saved those people. It was right choice. Tears ran down Eva's face as energy flowed between them. Calith's systems roared to life around her. Lights blazed through the ship. The engines hummed with power for the first time in decades. Then alarms started blaring. Eva's eyes snapped open. Through Calith's sensors, she saw station security ships approaching the bay. Armed Corthian officers were at the airlock. They are coming. For me, they say. Bioships are. Illegal technology. Must be. Seized. What? Why didn't anyone tell me that? They thought. I was dead. They didn't care. But now, I am alive. The lead security officer's voice boomed through external speakers. Human! Exit the vessel immediately. That bioship is classified as a restricted weapon. It will be impounded and destroyed. Eva felt Calith's fear. After 30 years of lonely survival, the ship would be torn apart and studied like a lab specimen, not while Eva was its pilot. Calith, she said, her voice steady now. Can you fly? With you. I can do anything. Then let's show them what a disgraced pilot and a forgotten ship can do. Eva's hands found controls that weren't really there. They were in her mind now, connected directly to Calith. The ship responded like an extension of her body. The airlock exploded open. Calith shot out of the bay like a bullet, spinning through the station's internal docking area with impossible grace. Security ships scrambled to follow, but Eva and Calith moved together as one being, thinking and acting in perfect harmony. They blasted through the station's exit port just as the blast doors started to close. Alarms screamed behind them. Half the station's security fleet launched in pursuit, but Eva was smiling for the first time in 2 years. Well, Calith, she said, as they accelerated toward the stars. I guess we're partners now. And we're criminals. Together. We will be okay. We will be okay. Yeah, Eva said, watching the stars stretch into lines as they jumped to faster-than-light speeds. Together, we might just be. Behind them, the security fleet fell away, unable to match the speed of a fully bonded Silhari bioship with a human pilot who had nothing left to lose and everything to prove. 3 weeks had passed since Eva and Calith escaped the galactic trade hub. 3 weeks of running, hiding, and learning to fly together. They jumped from system to system, never staying long enough for anyone to track them. Eva sat in Calith's cockpit, though it didn't feel like a cockpit anymore. It felt like home. The organic walls pulsed with soft blue light, and she could feel Calith's presence in her mind like a constant companion. We're being followed again, Eva said, not needing to check sensors. Through their bond, she could feel the 3 ships, tracking them through the asteroid field. I sensed them too. Caleth's thoughts came clearly now. No longer broken and weak. Bounty hunters. Corthian design. Heavy weapons. Can we outrun them? With you? Easily. Eva smiled. She had learned something amazing over the past 3 weeks. Caleth had flown with Silhari pilots before precise, methodical beings who followed perfect mathematical flight paths, but Eva flew on instinct, improvisation, and gut feeling. She broke every rule of proper piloting, and Caleth loved it. Let's give them something to remember, Eva said. She dove into the asteroid field, weaving between rocks the size of buildings. The bounty hunters followed, firing plasma bolts that lit up space behind her. But Eva wasn't flying away from them, she was leading them deeper into the field. Eva, what are you planning? Trust me. Always. Eva spotted what she was looking for, a massive asteroid with a narrow gap in its center. She aimed straight for it, accelerating instead of slowing down. Eva, we won't fit. We will if you trust me. The gap rushed toward them. The bounty hunter's sensors probably told them it was impossible. But Eva wasn't flying with sensors, she was flying with feeling. At the last second, Caleth rotated 90 degrees, and they slipped through the gap with centimeters to spare. Behind them, 2 of the bounty hunter ships weren't fast enough. They collided with the asteroid in bright explosions. The 3rd ship pulled up, abandoning the chase. Eva laughed, her heart pounding with adrenaline. Did you see that? Your species is insane, Caleth said. But Eva could feel warmth and joy in the thought. My previous pilot would never have attempted that maneuver. That's because your previous pilot probably followed the rules. Yes, Silhari pilots calculated every move. They minimized risk. They flew perfectly. And how did that work out? Caleth was quiet for a moment. They all died. Eva's smile faded. Over the past 3 weeks, through their neural bond, she had learned more about the Silhari. Caleth had shared memories, beautiful memories of a species that created bioships to explore the galaxy, to share their technology with others, to help smaller species reach the stars. But someone had destroyed them all. Caleth, what really happened to your people? I don't know all of it. I was in deep space with my pilot when it began. We received distress signals. Attacks on Silhari colonies. By the time we returned, our homeworld was gone. My pilot died defending a refugee ship. I drifted for years before being captured and sold. Who attacked them? The messages were encrypted. But I heard a name before communications stopped. The Dominion Collective. Eva had heard of the Dominion. They were a powerful alliance of militaristic species that controlled huge sections of the galaxy. They claimed to maintain peace. But everyone knew they crushed anyone who threatened their power. Why would they target the Silhari? Because we gave power to the powerless. A small species with a bioship could defend itself against Dominion warships. We were equalizers. We made their military superiority meaningless. Eva felt anger burning in her chest. So, they committed genocide. Yes. And now they hunt the surviving bioships. They call us weapons of mass destruction. They say we must be destroyed for galactic safety. That's a lie. I know. But the galaxy believes them. Eva stared at the stars ahead. She understood now why station security had tried to seize Caleth. Why bounty hunters chased them across 3 systems. The Dominion wanted all bioships destroyed so their secret would stay hidden. How many bioships are left? Eva asked. I don't know. Perhaps 10, perhaps fewer. We don't communicate. It's too dangerous. Then we need to change that. Eva, what are you thinking? I'm thinking we can't run forever. I'm thinking the Dominion wins if we hide. And I'm thinking that humans have a saying, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Before Caleth could respond, alarms blared through the ship. Something massive had just dropped out of faster-than-light travel behind them. Eva's blood went cold as she saw it. A warship twice the size of any bounty hunter vessel. Black armor covered its hull, and weapons bristled from every surface. Eva, That's Vriex the Unrelenting. Who? Legendary bounty hunter, Corthian cyborg. He has never failed a contract. If he's hunting us, the Dominion paid extremely well. A deep voice echoed through their communications system. Human pilot and bioship. I am Vrex. You are surrounded. My weapons are locked on you. You have one chance to surrender. Eva checked Calith's sensors. Vrex wasn't lying. His ship had positioned itself perfectly, blocking their escape routes. His weapons could tear them apart in seconds. What does he want? Eva whispered. He offers you a deal. Surrender me for dissection. Walk away with enough credits to live comfortably forever. Or refuse and die. Eva's hands tightened on the mental controls she shared with Calith. 2 years ago, she had made an impossible choice at Proxima. She had chosen to save civilian lives over military assets. Everyone said she was wrong, but she knew she wasn't. Vrex, Eva said into the communication system, I have a counteroffer. Oh? The Corthian sounded amused. And what might that be? Go to hell. She felt Calith's surprise and fear. Eva, we can't fight him. We're not going to fight him. We're going to show him what a human and a bioship can really do. Eva dove toward a nearby red giant star. Vrex followed, firing plasma bolts that Calith barely dodged. The star's corona blazed ahead of them, temperatures hot enough to melt any normal ship. Eva, my hull can't withstand that heat. I know, but his can't either. And we're smaller and faster. This is insane. You said that last time. Just trust me. They plunged into the corona. Eva felt Calith's hull screaming with pain as temperatures soared. But she didn't slow down. Instead, she flew in erratic patterns, using the star's magnetic fields to mask their position. Vrex's ship entered the corona, hunting them. His sensors couldn't find them in the electromagnetic chaos. Eva, my hull is failing. Just a few more seconds. Eva spotted what she needed, a massive solar flare building beneath them. She positioned Calith above it and waited. Through the bond, she felt Calith understand her plan. You're either brilliant or completely insane. Maybe both. The solar flare erupted, a pillar of superheated plasma shooting into space. Calith rode the shockwave like a surfer on an ocean wave, accelerating to impossible speeds. The flare caught Vrex's ship directly, overwhelming his shields. They burst out of the corona and looped back. Vrex's ship was damaged, systems failing, but not destroyed. Eva could have finished him, could have fired on his helpless ship. Instead, she sent a message. Vrex, I'm leaving you alive. Your emergency beacon is active. Someone will find you. But I want you to tell the Dominion something. Silence. Then, what? Tell them we're done hiding. Tell them the bioships are waking up. And tell them humans don't abandon their friends. Eva and Calith jumped to faster than light speed, leaving the wounded bounty hunter behind. Eva, what you just did, sparing him, was the right choice. Just like Proxima was the right choice. You saved civilians at Proxima? Through their bond, Eva finally shared that memory. The impossible decision. The civilian transport with 300 families, or the military convoy with 47 soldiers. She had chosen the families. The military called it cowardice. Called it treason. Calith's thoughts wrapped around her like a warm embrace. You did the right thing. Those families live because of you. That's what matters. For the first time in 2 years, Eva felt the weight on her chest lighten. Thank you. We need to find the other bioships. Your plan, it might work. Then let's start calling them. Use old Silhari frequencies. Tell them they're not alone anymore. And if the Dominion tracks the signal? Eva smiled. Then let them come. I'm tired of running. It's time to show the galaxy what happens when you try to erase people who deserve to live. Over the next week, they sent encrypted messages using Calith's ancient communication protocols. Responses came slowly, carefully. Other bioships, hiding across the galaxy, some bonded to alien pilots. Some barely surviving alone. 7 bioships remained. 7 survivors of a genocide. Eva had an idea. A crazy, dangerous, impossible idea. But it was the kind of idea that might change everything. Kaleth, how would you feel about going public? Really public. Showing the entire galaxy what bioships really are? That would start a war. No, that would end a lie. The Dominion says you're weapons. Let's prove them wrong. How? By showing everyone that bioships aren't about destruction. They're about partnership, freedom, and giving everyone a chance to reach the stars. That's what the Silhari wanted, right? Yes, that was always our purpose. Then let's finish what they started. Eva sent a message to the 7 surviving bioships. She proposed something that had never been done before. A demonstration. A performance. Something that would be broadcast across the entire galaxy. They would show everyone what bioships really were. 3 of the bioships agreed to join them. A Quellan engineer bonded to a ship named Varus. A Vryn philosopher bonded to a ship named Talmoth. And a human botanist named Chen bonded to a ship named Whisper. 4 bioships, 4 pilots from different species, 1 chance to change the galaxy's mind. This is either going to work, Eva said, or we're all going to die together. The Nexus Nebula was one of the most beautiful places in the galaxy. Clouds of colorful gas stretched for light years, glowing pink and purple and blue. Millions of ships passed through it every day, traveling the busy trade routes that connected dozens of star systems. It was the perfect stage. Eva sat in Kaleth's cockpit, feeling nervous energy running through their shared bond. Outside, 3 other bioships waited. Varus, with its Quellan pilot. Talmoth, with its Vryn pilot. Whisper with Chen, the other human. Everyone ready? Eva asked through the communication channel. Chen's voice came back, shaky but determined. As ready as I'll ever be. Still can't believe we're doing this. Neither can I, said the Vryn philosopher. But sometimes wisdom means taking great risks for greater truths. The Quellan engineer chittered with nervous laughter. My people have a saying. The stars belong to those brave enough to reach for them. Today, we reach. Eva smiled. 4 pilots from different species, bonded to the last surviving bioships. About to do something that would either save them or doom them. She opened a broadcast channel not encrypted, not hidden, but open to every ship, station, and planet in range. Millions would hear this, maybe billions. People of the galaxy, Eva said, her voice steady. My name is Eva Reyes. I'm a human pilot bonded to a Silhari bioship named Kaleth. For weeks, we've been hunted across the stars. The Dominion Collective calls us dangerous weapons. They say bioships must be destroyed for your safety. She paused, letting her words sink in across countless worlds. They're lying, and today, we're going to prove it. Eva, Dominion ships are jumping into the system, Kaleth warned. 15 warships. They're surrounding us. Right on time, Eva said. Everyone, stick to the plan. No weapons, no fighting. Just show them what we really are. The Dominion fleet arranged itself in attack formation. Their lead commander's voice boomed across all channels. Illegal bioships. You are in violation of Galactic Council regulations. Surrender immediately, or be destroyed. Eva took a deep breath. Kaleth, remember that move I showed you? The one you said was impossible? The spiral cascade? Eva, that requires perfect synchronization between 4 ships. We've only practiced twice. Then let's hope the 3rd time's the charm. Eva sent the signal to the other bioships. Music began playing on their shared channel, a human song. Something old and beautiful that Eva's grandmother used to play. The other pilots had chosen it together, something to synchronize their movements. And then they danced. 4 bioships moved as one, spiraling through the nebula clouds in perfect formation. They weren't running or fighting. They were creating art. Kaleth spun and dove, trailing bioluminescent light behind like a comet. Varus mirrored the movement, creating a double helix pattern. Talmoth and Whisper wove between them, their paths crossing and recrossing in mathematical precision that looked like pure magic. The Dominion ships hesitated, confused. "What are they doing?" someone asked on an open channel. I don't know," another voice answered. "It's beautiful." Eva smiled. Through her bond with Calith, she could feel the other bioships and their pilots. 4 minds working together. 4 species proving that partnership was stronger than fear. They flew through the nebula's heart, using the colorful gas clouds as their canvas. Everywhere they passed, they left trails of light. The pattern they created was visible for thousands of kilometers, a symbol that the SATA-III had once used. It meant unity. Ships throughout the system stopped what they were doing to watch. Civilian transports, cargo haulers, even pirates, everyone stared at the impossible display. "Fire on them," the Dominion commander ordered, but his weapons officer hesitated. "Sir, they're not attacking. They're not threatening anyone. If we fire now, with millions watching," the commander said nothing. Eva knew this was the moment. She opened the broadcast channel again. Still flying in perfect sync with the others. "The SATA-III created bioships to help others," she said. "They wanted every species, no matter how small or weak, to have a chance to explore the stars. They gave their technology freely, asking nothing in return except friendship." The 4 bioships began a new pattern, more complex than before. They flew through narrow gaps in asteroid clusters that drifted at the nebula's edge, never slowing down, never hesitating. The trust between pilot and ship was absolute. The Dominion destroyed the SATA-III because bioships gave power to the powerless, Eva continued. They committed genocide to protect their military advantage. They've been hunting down surviving bioships for decades, calling us weapons to justify murder. A Dominion warship moved forward, trying to intercept them. Eva and Calith simply flew around it, so close that the warship's sensors couldn't track them. The other bioships followed, weaving around the massive vessel like birds around a tree. "But we're not weapons," Eva said. "We're partners. We're friends. We're proof that different species can work together to achieve impossible things." "With right." "Eva, more ships are arriving," Calith warned. "But these aren't Dominion. They're civilian vessels, hundreds of them." Eva checked the sensors. Calith was right. Ships from dozens of species were jumping into the system not to fight, but to watch. To witness history. The 4 bioships came together for their final move. This was the dangerous part. The maneuver they had barely practiced. They would fly directly toward each other at full speed, passing within centimeters in the center of the nebula. One mistake, and they would collide. "Trust," Eva whispered to Calith. "Always," came the reply. They accelerated. 4 ships, 4 pilots, rushing toward the same point in space. The Dominion commander was shouting orders, but nobody was listening anymore. The galaxy watched, holding its breath. Eva could feel Chen's nervousness, the Vrin's calm focus, the Quellen's excited energy. They were all terrified. They were all determined. The ships met in the center, passing through the same space in the same instant, but each one rotated at a different angle. Their paths intersecting perfectly without touching, the trails of light they left behind formed a 4-pointed star that hung in the nebula like a beacon. Silence filled every communication channel. Then someone started clapping. One person. Somewhere on one ship. Then another. And another. Within seconds, thousands of beings across hundreds of ships were cheering, celebrating what they had just witnessed. Eva heard the Dominion commander cursing, ordering his fleet to fire. But his officers refused. Some of them were cheering too. "People of the galaxy," Eva said, her voice carrying to millions of listeners. "The Dominion wants you to be afraid of bioships. But ask yourselves, what are you more afraid of? Ships that dance through nebulas, or an empire that commits genocide to maintain power?" She let the question hang in space. The SATA-III are gone, but their dream isn't. We're offering that dream to anyone who wants it. Any species, any individual who wants to bond with a bioship and reach for the stars will teach you. We'll share what the SATA-III shared with us. Eva, the Galactic Council is broadcasting. They want to speak with us. Eva opened the channel. An elderly Vrin official appeared on the screen. His face troubled but not angry. Eva Reyes, he said carefully. What you've done today has complicated things. The Dominion is demanding your immediate arrest. But millions of citizens across the galaxy are demanding answers about the SATA-III genocide. We cannot ignore this. IBO. Enough. Then don't, Eva said simply. Investigate what really happened. Let the truth come out. The official was quiet for a moment. If we do this, it will cause great turmoil. The Dominion is powerful. So were the SATA-III, Eva replied. Until someone decided they shouldn't be. How many more species will you let them erase? The official closed his eyes. When he opened them again, Eva saw something new. There. Determination. The Council will convene an emergency session. Until we complete our investigation, bioships are under Council protection. Any attack on them will be considered an act of war. The Dominion commander's channel exploded with angry protests. But the official cut him off. This session is adjourned. Eva felt relief wash through her bond with Calith. They had done it. They weren't safe, not completely. But they had bought time. They had shown the truth. What now? Chen asked over their private channel. Eva looked at the hundreds of civilian ships still gathered in the nebula. Their crews probably still talking about what they had witnessed. Now we start teaching, Eva said. I know a place. An abandoned SATA-III outpost. It's hidden, but we could make it work. Then that's where we go. We'll call it the SATA-III Academy. A place where any pilot from any species can come to learn about bioships. Over the next few months, things changed. The Galactic Council's investigation confirmed everything Eva had said. The Dominion Collective had indeed destroyed the SATA-III. The evidence was overwhelming. Sanctions were placed on the Dominion. Their military influence weakened, and slowly, carefully, other bioships began to reveal themselves. Not just the 7 survivors, but others that had been hidden so well that even Calith didn't know about them. 12 bioships in total, the last remnants of the SATA-III's dream. The Academy grew. Pilots came from across the galaxy, not many at first, just the bravest or most desperate. But each successful bonding created another partnership, another team that could fly like magic through the stars. Eva stood in the Academy's main hangar 6 months after the Nexus Nebula incident. 3 new pilots were bonding with bioships today, their nervous excitement filling the air. Commander Reyes? A young human woman approached her. She wore a military uniform, human space navy. Eva stiffened. I'm not a commander anymore. Actually, you are. The military tribunal reviewed your case at Proxima. They found irregularities. Evidence that you were set up because you embarrassed some powerful people. Your discharge has been overturned. Your rank restored. Eva stared at her, unable to speak. They want to offer you a position, Admiral, in charge of a new division, Human Bioship Relations. Eva looked at Calith, feeling the ship's presence warm and steady in her mind. What do you think? She asked silently. I think you should do what makes you happy. But I also think some jobs are more important than medals. Eva smiled and turned back to the officer. Thank you. But I have a job already. I'm teaching people that broken things can fly again. That's more important than any rank. The officer nodded, respect in her eyes. I understand. But they said you'd say that. So they asked me to tell you something else. Thank you for saving those families at Proxima. Thank you for making the hard choice. After the officer left, Eva walked to Calith. She placed her hand on the bioship's warm hull. We did it, she said softly. We actually did it. No, Eva. You did it. You took a disgraced pilot and a dying ship and showed the galaxy that broken things can become beautiful. We became beautiful together, Eva corrected. That's the whole point. She looked up at the stars visible through the hangar's transparent ceiling. Somewhere out there, more bioships were waiting to be found. More pilots were waiting to learn they could fly beyond their dreams. You know what humans say? Eva asked Calith. They say home isn't a place. It's wherever you're understood. Then I am home, Calith replied. With you, I am always home. Eva smiled. 2 years ago, she had been broken, alone, and convinced she would never fly again. Now she was teaching others to soar. Sometimes the best things in life came from the choices that everyone else said were wrong. Sometimes you had to buy the ship nobody wanted, trust the friend nobody believed in, and dance through nebulas when everyone expected you to hide. And sometimes, the galaxy needed a disgraced pilot and a forgotten ship to remind everyone what was possible. Together, they had reached for the stars.